Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today, basically, just gonna do an updated Adele training guide for 255, 255 to 275, or I guess it's technically 300 now, huh? So, I've been playing around with the new Cernium maps, which I'm sure all of you guys want to know about. But for those of you who haven't seen my past video, basically to train Adele at 1-5. You put your soul right here, and then you place your rain right here, and then you just stand here and attack, and that's pretty much all you do. Um, when the rain dies, if you don't have the cooldown skipped, that's when you can use Shard Breaker. When your Infinity Blade is up, you just use that, and during Infinity Blade is when you want to use all your decent skills. Um, so basically, you just stand in this spot right of the ladder, and then when your rain is up, you jump down, and then boom, you cast, um, and then you just go right back to it. Um, this is the most important timer, your Lucid Soul. Everybody should have one, whether or not you need it, or whether or not it does a significant amount of damage. It's still good. It'll get mob aggro and push it into your Rain or your Infinity Blade. But once you see this is Nightmare Invites up, basically all you do is jump down here, cast Ruin, cast Rain if it's up, cast Lucid Soul, and then you go right back and you just attack in this spot again and again and again, and that's pretty much how you train in this map. Um, Sorry about that, but yeah, that's pretty much all you do. You just rinse and repeat until you're level, I believe Cernium's level 260. Once you can get to Cernium, I probably would train at 1-5 still until you have significant sacred power, or if you're just incredibly strong, I guess that works too. There's a few maps that I found worked out very well here, and one of the first maps is Royal Library Section 1. This is what I'm going to call the laziest map to train, and it's more or less the new CLP. I'm going to go ahead and take this rune. But basically all I do is I stand right here, left of this ladder. I'll summon Rain to my left, and whenever it's up, I'll do the same combo that I did at 1-5, which is the Ruin and Lucid Soul combo. Again, Lucid Soul is pretty much primarily just done for getting mob aggro, and then you just look left and right and you just attack. Um, this rotation is a little bit worse, but it's super lazy for people who have the same training mentality as me. I'd rather train lazier and then train for longer than to train hard for however many hours. And then when your ruins up, or when your rain is up, you just want to cast it to your left, and it'll take care of this platform on the top left. Uh, and that's pretty much it. And you just rinse and repeat. Things you can do in addition is cast Will Skill where you're standing. On rain cooldown, you can cast Shard Breaker. And once that's done too, if this is still on cooldown, you can use Aether Bloom, and it's kind of random, but it's pretty good if you want that extra map clear. I don't really bother with it. My rates in this map will range anywhere from 220 bill to 260 bill per hour, and that's going to depend on my portals, how well I can maintain this rotation, because there's a lot of times where I don't even bother looking left and right. I just look right the whole time and then cast rain every time it's up, just because um, I'm lazy. My sword's currently two-shot these monsters. If your sword one-shots, I'm sure the EXP rate will be higher, just because a lot of times there's a lot of mobs down here, up here, that are just untouched. So if your sword's one-shot, you probably end up getting higher rates. But that's pretty much it for this map. You just look back and forth, or if you're like me, you'll just stand still. Make sure your passives are on. You definitely need ethereal arms for those little rockets that shoot out. The next map that's pretty good is actually Royal Library Section 4. I don't like Royal Library Section 2, and I think I should just get this out of the way, because if you stand on the middle platform, you actually cannot hit the mobs on the bottom. As you can see, I'm hitting, and the mobs are so clean. In Royal Library Section 1, that's not a problem. So if I stand in the middle, I can actually hit both bottom and middle platform. And I found that to be relatively the same with Royal Library Section 4. What I do here more or less the same thing. I'll place my Lucid Soul right here, and then I'll summon Rain, and then I will stand right here and attack back and forth. This one I'm more focused about hitting back and forth on just because the map is a little bit bigger, which is great if you're trying to get optimal rates. From time to time, you can turn on your I don't know what the skill is actually called, Storm, and you just incorporate a jump into your attack. Or if I'm like really bored, I'll do this. I'll just jump up and down. But that's just depends on how I'm feeling. But I think looking left and right, every time rain's up, you flash jump over, cast, and go right back to it. And then once your Lucid Soul's up, so 10 more seconds. Again, same idea. If your sword's one shot, your rates will probably be a lot higher. Um, for this map, I gain anywhere from like 240 to 280 bill an hour. Again, depends on portals, depends on how well my rotation is. Every time your Lucid Soul's up, you summon Ruin right there, jump over here, loot the map, summon Lucid Soul, jump back over, cast Rain if it's up, and then you just go right back to it. This one I said 260 to 280. Probably the next easiest map after RLS 1 or Royal Library Section 1. And is pretty good. Next map, there's actually two that you could go to. There's Eastern Ramparts 1. This map, kind of the same thing. You can hit both the middle and the top platform. I mean, middle and the bottom platform. For this one, what you do is you press Summon Ruin on the left side, and then when your soul's up, same idea again. You're gonna cast Ruin for the right side, jump over, cast your soul on the bottom left, and then cast your Rain on the middle platform, so it hits the top and middle. So like right now, I would jump down, loot the bottom, cast Rain. Oh, I didn't Lucid Soul. I cast a Rain on the wrong side, my bad. And then every chance you get, you want to cast Infinity Blade, pop all your decents. This one is pretty good too. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it extends a little bit far to the right. So if I stood like here and I could kill everything on the left, you're now missing the left side. So if I stand right here, it's kind of like a mix of both, but you can never hit almost the entire map with your skills, which is why it's not my favorite. You can jump around. Again, same thing applies with Shard Breaker uh, and all the other skills like Bloom and everything. If you can cast them off cooldown if you want. Um, I try to have Weapon Aura. I didn't mention this in the other maps, but I try to have Weapon Aura up almost all the time. I think Weapon Aura can actually hit this bottom platform here, so I'll wait for one of them to tick off right there. Oh, no, it can't. Okay, GG. But another thing that I like to do, Storm. Storm doesn't hit while you're standing on this platform or would be busted, so I just attack and then jump. But yeah, that's pretty much the rotation. Here, I get about the same, about like 250 to 270 an hour. It really depends on how well you maintain your rotation, which is kind of the idea with most of these maps, because you can't just stand still and hit the whole map with your skills. So you have to be mindful that you have to jump to hit the top platform, you have to rotate around, you have to make sure you cast your Rain on cooldown, etc., etc. But that's how I train in this map. Next one is actually the map right next over, and it's a lot bigger, I think, or I want to say it's a lot bigger. Basically, for this one, totem down. You're jumping around on this middle platform here because you can hit both the middle and the bottom platform. Your Rain will go up here, and then you're kind of just jumping around the bottom platform attacking. If your Lucid Soul is really strong, I would place your Lucid Soul right here, and then you can just stand still right here and attack back and forth, and you're clearing the whole map. Of course, when your Rain's on cooldown, you have to account for the top left. And to do that, I usually summon Will Soul when the Rain is dead right here. And when I need to loot, that's when I jump down here, cast Ruin, jump over, jump up, cast Lucid, and then go right back to my attacking back and forth. This is the map where Storm actually works out really well. So most of the time, since my soul does like It takes like 80 shots. When you're on Storm, you can actually hit both the top platforms with it. So when you flash jump over to hit, boom, boom, it's one attack in the air, one attack when you land on the ground, and then your Storm will take care of the mobs on the top. And that's pretty much how I've been doing it. So far, this is the best map for me. I think at my peak, I got about 297 bill an hour, and at my lowest, I got about 250. This one, of course, requires you to be very active in your rotation. Again, if you need to cast Infinity, just do it, and then the whole map is pretty much like hit. But also, you have to maintain sword because it does not reach the top, and then you just keep going back and forth. Highly recommend people train on meso gears. Some people have sacked that for damage, just so they can two-shot or one-shot or whatever. I think that's up to you if you have mesos. I can't justify training that long without meso gears. Looting like 80 to 100 mil an hour is like not good at all. And pretty much for all of these maps, you're looting somewhere between like 210 and like 260, 300 mil an hour, depending on how strong you are. Again, if your sword's one shot, you're going to do more damage, you're going to kill more mobs, and you're going to get more EXP and more mesos. So that's pretty much like the gist. But that's pretty much it for this map. And then there's one map that I haven't really tried out yet. I've pretty much gone through a majority of the maps, but this seagull one, I don't like it because we can't hit the bottom platform. So already it's at a disadvantage, and the top one you have to jump for. So the only good rotation you could have here is pretty much using your rain up here, and then you're jumping around on the bottom platform. Other classes with more summons probably like this map a lot more. Adele only has one that lasts pretty short, but we can't skip the cooldown, so I'd probably skip this map and go to RLS or something. However, this rotation is the same one that you'll be using for Burning Cernium, which is a map I really don't recommend training in until you do damage, but the map is Western City Ramparts Battle in 1. For this one, oh, there's someone here. Who's this? What a Apple V. So you get your map. Takes me forever to kill these mobs, but I could see if I was one-shotting these with or two-shotting with my swords. So I think as of right now, my cleave does half their HP. So what I do is press rain right there, and then you just jump back and forth, and that's literally it. Same idea as the Wingle map, but I think this map layout's actually better. However, it's still pretty bad. I don't think there's any Burning Cernium map for Adele's where you can hit 2 platforms worth of mobs at the same time. But when I did 1 hour on here in full damage gear, I think I was hitting about 270, 280. Again, my swords pretty much do like no damage to them at this point. As you can see, it takes like 3 or 4 shots, which is unacceptable. If you were one-shotting, this map would probably be insane. There's not too many Adeles that are strong enough to do that, I don't think. You probably have to be like 75, 80k stat with the required amount of sacred power, which is fucking crazy. But if you keep going to like the different ramparts, they just get bigger and bigger. If your class is like Kana or whatever, like these maps will probably work for you because you can place a summon everywhere and take care of all the platforms. But Adele doesn't have that, and these magicians, these maps just start getting weirder and weirder. The library, again, is kind of the same thing as the previous map I showed you. The mobs are too short, the platforms are too spaced apart, so if you were to do this, you'd have to rain right there, and you're jumping back and forth on here. But you're also missing like a whole side of the top platform. So if your Lucid Soul was insanely strong, even though warriors get cucked when it comes to that type of soul damage. Yeah, so pretty much you're just casting rain and jumping on the bottom. Other maps aren't much better. I think all the mobs are pretty short. This map might be good if the top platform didn't exist, or the top 2 platforms didn't exist, but they do, so GG. Again, same with this one. If the top platform didn't exist, it'd probably be an insane map. I could see you placing Ruin right there, and then you would just stand here and, or actually, hold up. Wait a second. Um, Maybe if I was stronger, because this top platform is still annoying. It still exists, and I 3-shot. But I reckon this might be the best map if you're like an 80k stat Adele, full damage gear, everything. Because you could probably just jump up or cast Will Skill right here. And when you need to loot, cast Ruin here. And then over here, use your Soul and your Rain, and then you can just hit back and forth. Um, I don't know why I didn't Frenzy this map, but yeah, this is pretty much what you would do, I think. Wow, I could see this being really good, actually. Um, but of course, you need very good RNG with Rain and Lucid Soul and everything. But training's pretty much the same. So all you're doing is placing down Rain in your Lucid Soul, and then you're, summoning as many swords as you can, using your Infinity, etc., etc. Um, Another map that Sears Eastern. This one's too vertically high. You can't have 4 platforms, especially when you don't hit. When you 3 platforms is like the most we can handle, like efficiently, or it's like 3 layers of platforms rather. So it's kind of the same. The layout's weird, um, which is why I don't recommend it. Um, these maps are pretty well or much more suited for classes with a lot of summons. I could see this map being good if like the platforms got lowered a little bit. However, we still can't hit the bottom one, and the top ones are separated. So again, you would just be right here jumping back and forth, um, but you're doing less because your rain doesn't cover as much ground. Um, yeah. So if I go here, boom, the map still gets bigger and bigger. So these are kind of pointless unless you're Kana. And then this is too big as well. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Highlights of the maps are Western City, Ramparts, and Battle 1. You can go to Royal Library Section 1, Royal Library Section 4, Eastern Ramparts 1 or 2. And then, of course, you guys already know End of the World 1-5 is like your go-to map. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content and if you want to see more Maple Story videos. That's it for today, and I will see y'all next time. Peace!